G'day all and welcome to Murder Valley. What have we got here? We've got a couple of Pro Dash chassis at the front. These are based on a T-Dash chassis. These have a lot of parts similar to the same parts as what they use in freight cars. It's not a freight car, not trying to say it is. Some people get upset. There's all sorts of other T-Jet things. Freight's just easy one to remember. But anyway, so these things are what originally drew me to racing Ho. I Google searched when the 124 track that I'd rediscovered in 2016 and got 3 race meets in. When it got announced that they were shutting, I talked to a couple of guys, and 3 of us decided to have a crack at starting racing Ho back in late 2016. And anyway, so this concept that we're doing now was born then, and Scotty Quill ended up, why don't we race Ho? And I'm like, nah, mate. Anyway, I Googled it, and then I found these things, and these things are so similar in look to these, and they haven't got traction magnets and stuff like that, which is more like this. And this is the type of racing I used to love, and I used to race in the 90s, and my local track burnt down in 2000. Anyway, fast forward to today. These are what brought me to Ho, and this is why this channel has been created, and this is why we're here, right? So, I've got these. I've got a dyno and everything to tune these, and I'm building this Womp, and this is a Mid-America spring steel chassis in this one. I've got a race next weekend that I've decided to have a crack at entering into and have a go at these things and see if I can still build something competitive and drive. So build it up. Cannot stick it on my dyno, obviously. So, what have I done? I have, off the variable power supply and a guitar tuner. I am not joking. This is how I bought the car. I bought 2 spare motors. This is actually the one that came out of the car. It's not as fast as one of the ones that I bought. So I went through all 3 of the motors, did basic run-in, lubrication, the com drops on the com, ran them in for a little while, and then compared them all to see which one's better. Now, don't have a dyno, but I do have a variable power supply. They come in so handy for everything. Seriously, just buy one for your track. Because you can use them for all sorts of things other than just powering your track, and I'm about to show you another one. So I've got my guitar tuner there, and it's telling me what note that apparently I'm talking to, so F sharp apparently at the moment. But anyway, so here's how I used it. I powered the motors up. Hopeless. Alligator clips would be so much easier. And if you have a look at the guitar tuner, it's now got a scale on it and a reference point of what note, so it picks up the harmonics of the motor because it puts out a pitch. And this gave me my comparison to work out easily. So that's at 12 volts. So that clearly, that motor's faster than this one. But the motor that I ended up putting in the car, which is the 3rd motor, it actually these 2 motors pulled C, but it actually jumped up to the next scale and pulled a C sharp, this one, and like almost half the scale. So it's way quicker, which is why I've selected that motor to put that in. So, next week, right, I've always built really heavy Wompies in the past and put brass and everything in them, and I turned up in 2016 and I got slaughtered because all the guys were running them completely bare, and brass bends too easy, and I can't drive my finger up my own nose. So anyway, what I've done is I've seen these, the Mid-America chassis, and it's spring steel. So I've put this together, hoping that this doesn't, I've heard after I've brought these, they've got a bit of a habit of snapping, and it's actually what I did to the front because the guide was in the wrong position, the guide tongue where it attaches, and I bent it and I snapped it off because I'm stupid. But anyway, I've put a piece of steel there on the front and soldered it all back together, just because it was too far to go drive up there and buy another chassis. Anyway, so this is what I'm doing. I've made alloy tubing to go over the top for spaces, so I can custom width it. So 80.5 mil was the width I had to get in, and I decided to throw another bit of alloy tube there in the middle. So if the wires rub, then it's not going to slow the axle down. It can just free spin over the outside of it, right? Done the same thing in the back, the little alloy spaces. Got rid of the original grub screws in the motor because I'd never trust the things, and I've soldered the motor in because I'd rather do that. I think I've got the motor wires hooked in backwards. I can't remember. I haven't built a car for this track. I'm hoping I'm going to be able to control this thing, because what my plan is, and I'm going to go up tomorrow and test, I've got my hoe controller. Now this thing has, I think it's comparable to like 100 ohms or something, and it's got switches. I can switch through different ranges. So like, I'm going to try this. Don't know if it's going to work. I'm hoping it does. If not, I've got a TrueSpeed MT2. But I've got the XLR plugs on them like we use. But up at Shelsha Slots, where I'm going to be running, they run these. So I made a little adapter. So the female to this, and then if any of the 132 or 124 guys want to come and race with us, I've got it the other way. If they've got their controller they use at Shelsha Slots, I've made an adapter they can come and plug in on ours. I only got the one though. But yeah, so I'm going to go up and do a test day tomorrow, hoping I can control this. Hoping I can control it with this controller, because literally I know this thing like the back of my hand, and I can make, without even looking at the controller, adjustments on this to where I'll get good feedback and benefit off the car, and know exactly what I'm doing with this. I'm a bit clueless with the other ones, because I'm it's, if you're not familiar with something, I just want to be in the heat of battle while you're concentrating on racing and you're concentrating on trying to be competitive. If I need to make a small change, then I muck around with the controller right now, which is that one. So anyway, that's where I'm at. That's what I'm doing. The only reason this is happening is because this race is on next Saturday. It's on the 30th. So yeah, I've got to get this car done. It's been sitting here for a couple of weeks, and I've just been looking at it. So I put the old Palmer style wheels on it, because the axles I had weren't long enough with the standard wheel, which is this one. The axles I had weren't long enough to get it out to the maximum width, so I've switched over to these. So yeah, anyway, that's what I've done. I don't know if this is going to work. And look, I'll tell you how lost I am at the moment with these things, because I completely forgot. Someone got too excited and painted the body, and then forgot, you're painting Lexan, you've got to paint it on the inside. So I've texted tail lights on and the black trims. I don't know what I was thinking. But anyway, this thing actually clips on and sits on there pretty good. I prefer to run these, have always, in the longer wheelbase. This thing was nuts. This thing's built like a tank. It's way too heavy, not competitive. I thought about putting one of these motors in that. What's the point? I'm gonna test this tomorrow, see how it goes. Hopefully it's good enough to turn up the race next week. Hopefully I can do this, and that'll give me the control I need with a much lighter chassis. And here's hoping. Here's hoping. Don't care about winning. Just want to be on similar lap times to the front runners. That's enough for me. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. I'll let you know the result of how I go in the race. It'll probably be embarrassing. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you like this sort of content that I'm putting up, please like and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for coming back and watching. See ya.